Elfyn, when we stood here yesterday evening, we said really anything could happen out there today, and it has in your favour. What a morning.
Yeah, you never want to benefit in these circumstances, you know, where the others have problems like this. You always want to be in this by pure speed, but at the same hand, Turkey we knew this was going to be the case, and of course it still can be this afternoon. It's likely that, you know, somebody will get a puncture again this afternoon, and you know, of course there's so much you can do in your driving to limit that, but not always.
How aware were you of the potential problems, and how much did you drive to that potential problem?
No, we were trying our best, but we hadn't realised at the time. But of course, Calais had an issue, and we then ended up with a 2-minute gap in the latter part of the stage rather than a 4-minute gap, and we just found the dust really bad. And I was actually like braking and going down a gear where I should be flat out because I couldn't see the edge of the road, you know. And it was a very stressful stage, to be honest, and it wasn't easy.
45-second lead going into the final loop. You can use all of those 45 seconds, but how do you do that? How do you manage the risk this afternoon?
At the end of the day, you know, it's still only a second a K, and you know, if you back off that much that you're guaranteed not to get a puncture, you're going to lose more than a second a K. So we have to find a good rhythm still, try to drive in the middle of the road, but we can't afford to, you know, go around crawling.
And if there's an opportunity, a push in the power stage?
Yeah, sure. You know, we had a good run in there now, with the exception of a really clumsy stall at the end, so the feeling was good in there, but let's wait and see.
Any thoughts to raise the car perhaps to give you that little extra margin?
Well, I mean, we have to discuss it now with the guys. I mean, let's see.
Well done, Elfyn. Thierry, try and sum up that opening stage this morning. It was an absolute roller coaster.
It was. I mean, everybody said it already before heading into the stages today that it's going to be a lottery out there, and definitely was. I knew a lot of people had trouble before I took the start of the stage already, and I knew that surviving was the key, so I took it quite steady, trying to turn around the big stones, but obviously into the stage I felt like we had a damper issue on the front right, and it was getting worse and worse, but suddenly we realized that it might be a puncture, and we stopped to change, but yeah, not our stage, but still we are in second now, and we're going to push hard to catch back first.
What can you do this afternoon to try and reduce that risk of punctures?
I mean, obviously, even if I puncture and I need to do a change, I would fall back first, and we could have some team strategy with Seb being just in front of me, so I still could be on the podium. So let's fight hard. I mean, we're obviously going to try to avoid the punctures and issues, but we have seen it's so much a lottery that if you push or you don't push, it might not make a big difference.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a lottery, a bit like expected, and yeah, not much we can do. There's so much dust, you have no idea where you drive, and for me, middle of a straight line, I hear an impact. I have no idea if it's a hole or if it's a rocks, but very quickly I realized puncture, and that was it.
What can you do this afternoon to try and minimize the consequences?
I don't know, honestly. Just try to finish the rally. Anything can still happen.
Seb, what an opening stage of the morning that was. Can you kind of talk us through what happened and what your approach was first, and then what happened?
Yeah, what happened, it was a lot of dust in nearly all the stage, so we couldn't see really clear. But okay, I tried to trust my notes. I was driving well, I think. I didn't take big risk on the stones. I was more driving a bit carefully, middle of the road, trying to do the stage with efficiency, but without taking risk. And suddenly, I don't know why, I didn't feel anything, but I had a puncture on the front. So it was only 10 pages in the notes left before the end. So we decided to continue. But I lost quite quickly the tire completely, and then I was on the wheel, and with the stones, if I destroy the wheel, I stop. So I was very, very slow in the end of the stage, trying to finish. And at the end, we lost exactly the same time as the other one who changed the wheel in the stage. So we are still in the battle for the podium. The classification changed a lot in the stage, but still here. We'll see in the afternoon.
What can you do though this afternoon, Seb, to reduce that risk of punctures?
I was driving carefully in the morning, so maybe it's better not to drive too carefully and to push. Only thing we can do.